Hi, I'm Rachel Chamness at soundwavesheal.com. Today we're going to be talking about how to get a really good psychic reading, what to expect, and what to do. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can look below in the comments where I have put a link for the entire blog post that goes with this video, and so there will be even more information there. But what to expect in a psychic reading and how to get the best psychic reading you can. I would recommend taking a few moments, maybe even 10 minutes before your session, just coming into a really good state of calm, coming to center, taking deep breaths, coming into the present moment, and then ask your spirit guides to surround you and help you get the greatest, highest information for your highest good so that you can really get the information that you need and trust in that. During the reading, you might want to bring your notes of the questions that you have so you won't forget them. You might want a glass of water to process your emotions. And also, you want to, first of all, not talk too much. If you are talking too much, then you're not giving your psychic reader time to really give you what they're getting. And as a medium, I can tell you that the information sometimes comes really fast, and as you're talking, you come on to the next subject, I have lost what the spirit guides wanted to tell you 5 minutes ago. And I've had sessions where people talk for almost the entire 30 minutes and don't let me talk. And then your time's up, and I haven't been able to really give you as much of a reading as I could have if you had been a little quiet. So it's really good to prepare with your questions so that you're ready to just say a succinct question and be quiet and listen to what the medium has to say. Now, I also don't want you to go too far in the other way. Don't be too cryptic. So what I'm saying here is you need to give your medium confirmation. You don't have to tell them everything because, of course, you want to hear that they're coming up with information that is good and true for you, but you also don't want to be completely quiet so they're not sure if the information they're getting is correct, because mediums often check in with you. Does this make sense? Is this resonating with you? Yes, I am looking at getting a new job. That's true. You can say that without saying a whole lot, or you can give them more information. If you trust the medium and you know they're a good medium, then give them some more information. Yes, I am looking for a job in that category, and I was thinking that maybe I could apply for this new job. Oh, well, they might give you a whole bunch of information about that. Remember, don't talk too much, but don't be too cryptic. You kind of have to hit the middle there. The next thing is to make sure you ask an open-ended question. So, am I going to meet my true love this month? Yes or no does not bring you a lot of information. When will I meet my true love brings you a lot more. What can I do so that I can meet my true love brings you even more information. Do you see? Now, especially if you're seeing a medium who is also a healer, you might end up getting a healing. You might end up getting some really deep information about what needs to be done by you to heal, to get the most perfect love, or whatever it is that you are trying to manifest or what you are wanting in this life. Love is a great one to talk about because people often ask that question, and it's also a good sign of the medium that they understand that there's more to a question, and you ask a question like that and they give you a lot of different scenarios and answers that are really helpful. Because often when we are trying to manifest something and it's not happening, then it could be because we have psychic blocks or other things that we need to work on. So it's very nice to have a medium who's also a healer, which is what I do and what I teach, because I think it goes really nicely together. The next thing I want to talk about is this. Can mediums tell you the future in a psychic reading? This question is really an interesting question. Sometimes, the answer is sometimes. Sometimes we can, and sometimes we can't, because it's very complicated. There are so many different timelines. You have so many choices in this life. I could definitely tell you that if you continue on this path, it looks most likely that this thing is going to happen. This is sometimes a cautionary from your spirit guides. This bad thing might happen if you don't change your ways. That doesn't mean that it's going to happen. I can't promise you that if you change your ways it won't happen, but more likely if you are to work on this problem that you're having or this block or this issue, then you have a much better chance of this other future, which looks really beautiful. Now, it's never a promise. You could totally change your mind on everything tomorrow, and then none of it will happen. And many times I get in a reading, if you do this, then you can get what you want. But sometimes people don't want to do that because it's hard. I mean, obviously your spirit guides aren't going to ask you to do something easy. They're going to ask you to do something hard because you came into this life to learn all of this great stuff. You came into this life to face trauma, to face problems, to do hard things. That's what we're here for, to learn. That's how we learn. So it's possible that they will ask you to do something hard, but they're going to give you a great reward. They're going to give you a great reward for doing so. So it's great to get that kind of information from your spirit guides, but know that a psychic is not going to be able to give you 100% future reading all the time. Now, I do have people tell me many times, you told me this was going to happen, and it did. Sometimes in a reading, I get a really strong feeling like this is going to happen. I'm just getting all the confirmation from my spirit guides that this is going to happen. I really think it's going to happen, and it does, and that's great. But, if it doesn't, we're not perfect. We do the best we can. Timelines are not in our control. Do psychic mediums give you lotto numbers from your spirit guides? No. We wish we could get the lotto numbers for you and for ourselves. Wouldn't that be great? But unfortunately, your spirit guides don't really love the lotto as how you're going to reach your goals. They'd really like you to figure it out the hard way, or the way that you're going to learn the best from. And it doesn't often include winning the lottery. So I'm sorry to say that's not really a thing. Your spirit guides want you to really figure out your life in the best way possible and really earn that cash. So by becoming your best self, by doing the job that you're meant to do in this life, which I call the light path, because it will fill you with light, make you happy, and it's always something that helps others. So that's really what your spirit guides want you to do. How can you tell if your psychic medium is giving you real information? Well, you're going to have to use discernment on that. You're going to have to learn how to talk to your spirit guides. You're going to have to learn what is true and what is not in this world. That is called developing your claircognizance, which is a psychic clair that we all have. The sense of knowing. Knowing when it's true, knowing when it's not. Do you know how to get spirit signs from your spirit guides? That's really important. Make sure you have a language with your spirit guides. Many of us get chills when something's right, or sometimes I see little flickers of light from the fairies. That's all giving me the yes. That's the yes confirmation. Or I might get a sense that doesn't feel so good. Like that's clairsentience. Oh, I don't think that's right. That doesn't sit right with me. That doesn't resonate with me. You can do this too. Everybody's psychic clairs can be opened. I help people open their psychic clairs all the time, and I can promise you that every single person can do that. So you just have to learn discernment. It's not by testing your psychic medium and withholding information, but by learning discernment and striking the middle between giving not too much information, but enough information to get a good reading. These are all things that are going to help you. Now, there are a few things that might tell you that your psychic medium isn't exactly a good psychic medium. And I have written out on the blog post 7 things. Now, these 7 things don't have to be all 7 happening. It can be just one. But the first one is almost every message makes you feel terrible about yourself or makes you feel fearful. Then it's possible that you're being scammed. This is all good ways to look for a scam in a psychic reading. Number 2, there's a huge message of fear, of doom, anxiety. You want to go to a psychic medium who's a light worker, who's a healer, really, if you can, because you need to know what is there that can be fixed. And it doesn't have to be a big doom and gloom message. Big messages of fear can really stir a person up and have them digging deep into their pockets, I'm sure, but it's likely not legitimate. Number 3 is that message of fear is usually tied to an action of spending money. So now there could be a legitimate time when this is right, okay? So there could be a time when a medium is just telling you that you need more work and this is what it could be. And so you might benefit from a longer session or a healing session. That's perfectly legitimate. But if your messages are, you're being cursed and only I can help, but it costs $500, then I don't know if that's going to be real. You might want to get a second opinion on that. Number 4 is really important. They claim they can do an action on another person who is not you. So if they're saying they can make someone love you, they can help get someone to leave you, they can bind someone, they can do all these things, that's not really okay. That's against the laws that mediums really should live by, which is that you can't really do harm to someone and that you really shouldn't meddle in someone else's psyche or affairs if they haven't given you permission. So if you want a session on getting your lover to come back to you, what you should expect is that the session will be about you fixing yourself to understand what has happened and if you should get your lover back and what you can do to get a real love and a better lover for yourself. That is more legit than someone saying they're going to make someone love you or make someone regret hurting you. That's the kind of thing you don't want to get involved in because that is not a good thing to do. That's kind of delving into black magic, which you should definitely stay away from because there will always be a consequence to that. Number 5, they threaten you in any way. If this psychic medium is telling you they're going to sick their evil spirits on you or something like that if you do anything against them, then I think you should run and put all your psychic protections in place. So that should be filed under discernment. That's not something a good person does. So it's that simple on that number. Number 6, they tell you that to be a true seeker, you're going to have to do this certain action. But a real psychic knows that we have choices and many paths and that not everything is black and white. So this really brings you back to number 1, which is that if this message makes you feel guilty or bad about yourself when you're getting a message from a psychic reader, then it's probably not a really good reading. Okay, and then number 7 is sometimes they may offer you a free session. They want to give you a free healing session and it's no cost to you. And then of course they're going to come back and say there's something horribly wrong with you that you need a real session for, which is a lot more expensive. In this case, while it sounds really fun to get a free reading or a free healing, you have to be smart and use discernment about who you are letting into your energy, okay? Because we are all surrounded by energy and we need to keep our energies clear of other people's energy. That is a really important lesson that I hope that you already know, and if not, I'd love to teach it to you in one of my programs or my monthly group. So thank you so much for coming. Please subscribe and hit the bell. And I would love to know, have you ever gotten a really bad or fake psychic reading? And would you like to tell me about it in the comments? See you next time. I hope that you'll subscribe. I'm Rachel Chamness with SoundwavesHeal.com.